everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video I'm going to go over 5 different ways that you can start plant hangers. I'm going to show you one way that does not need a ring, and then 4 fun little ways that you can tie a plant hanger directly onto a ring. Before we get started, I just want to say that I usually use 6 or 8 ropes when I am making my plant hangers. You can obviously adjust this amount to your preference, but for these examples I will be using 6 ropes. And the rope I'm using is 6mm 4-strand twisted cotton rope. I will leave a link to the exact rope in the description, and let's just jump right into it. For our first method, we're going to take our strings and just fold them directly in half. And we're going to do this for all 6 of our ropes and gather them together, just like this. Okay, so once you have all your ropes folded in half and held together, what we're going to do is we're going to make a loop up top by making a simple overhand knot. So kind of figure out how big you want your little loop to be. It doesn't really matter, just be aware that the bigger your loop is, the more string you'll probably need for the rest of your plant hanger. So just adjust that accordingly. So to make our overhand knot, we're just gonna hold our rope down a little bit so we keep our loop. And then we take all the strings together. It's gonna go around and then through. Just pull them through. And then you pull it tight. And now you'll have a fun little loop up top. And then if you need to smooth out your knot, all you're gonna do is take each rope here and you just pull them. And this will smooth and tighten your knot. So this way to start a plant hanger is really good if you're looking for something that's simple to make, but is also very minimalist, and it's completely natural. You don't need any extra product. And so obviously what you would do then to make your plant hanger is just continue down from here with whatever pattern you like. So you probably will separate your ropes into sections of 2 and just either do like square knots, the spiral knot, really whatever it is you want. The choices are endless, but this is simply how you can start that method. You could even continue it on with just overhand knots for a really simple and cute look. For our next method, we are going to tie it on a ring, and the knot we're going to use is a half hitch knot. And when we make this knot, we're going to make a cool spiral pattern. So to do this, we're going to take the rope here on the end, just one, and it's going to cross over all the ropes that are bundled together. It goes behind them and then through the little loop, and we just pull that through and we pull that tight. Kind of put it up top too, and then we just repeat that. So that same string goes in front of the bundle of strings. It wraps around them, and then it goes through the loop, and you pull that through, and then you pull it tight. And we're just going to keep repeating the same process until it starts to spiral. Once you start getting a bunch of these knots going, you might need to kind of help guide it to twist. So what I like to do is just kind of gently push them off to the side so it starts to curve, and then you just continue your knots. So once it starts twisting to the other side, just take your ring, turn it around so that you can continue tying your knots on the same size. It's just a little trick to keep you on track, because sometimes your instinct will be to start going from the other end of the bunch, which will make your spiral go the wrong direction. And there you go. That is how you can start your plant hanger by making a single spiral go around the core of all your ropes. Now, one thing that you do need to keep in mind if you start your plant hangers this way is that the rope you're using to tie this knot, it's the only rope getting tied, so you're gonna run out of it really fast. So two solutions to this is to either make that rope extra long compared to your other ropes, or you can actually add like a 7th rope if you're using 6, and you can loop it over your ring like normal, but you'll have one end that's much shorter than the one that you use to tie. And then if you can either cut that short string off, or make sure you just go far enough down that your knot here covers it. Okay, so that's 2 ways you can handle that little issue, but do keep in mind that your rope is gonna run out pretty fast and you might not be able to use it for the rest of your plant hanger unless you accounted for that. And once again, just continue your plant hanger with the pattern of your choice. For our third way to start a plant hanger, once again, we're gonna use a ring. Our ropes will be folded in half and just draped across our rings. For this method, we're going to kind of play on the spiral that we just did on the last method, only this time we're going to do it using half square knots, also known as the spiral knot, to start our plant hanger. So to do this, we're going to take a string on the right end and a string on the left end and create a half square knot. So we'll take the end on the right, cross it over all the other strings, then the string here on the left goes over behind all the strings and then through the little loop, and you just pull that through and then you pull it tight. And if you notice your strings are a little weird, like if one's kind of sticking up, you just go through and kind of pull all the strings down so that they lay nice against your ring. And then we're just going to continue our half square knot. So again, we take the string here on the right, it crosses over all the strings in the middle. Our string on the left then goes over behind the strings in the middle and through the loop. And that's all we do. We just keep continuing this until it starts to spiral. Like before, you can take your ring and flip it over to make it a little easier when your spiral starts going behind your work. That's all you have to do. You can do this for as long as you want and you'll just get a really fun spiral look. All the strings spiraled together, whereas in our last pattern, just a single row spiraled where everything else was just kind of straight. So that is 2 variations on a way to do a spiral when starting a plant hanger. And then again, just continue on with whatever pattern you choose. For our 4th method, again, we're going to use a ring and again, fold all your ropes in half and drape them over that ring. This time we're going to separate our ropes into 2 sections of 6, so 3 ropes and 3 ropes. And now we're going to tie a Josephine knot. Now if you don't feel confident with your Josephine knots just yet, I recommend practicing with a single rope before you go and try to do it with this mini. It will be a little more complicated with this mini, but it is very doable as long as you know how to make a Josephine knot. I will leave the link to the detailed tutorial as a little card and in the description in case you need to reference it. But otherwise, let me show you how I'm going to do it with these 6 ropes. We're going to take the grouping of ropes here on the right, and we're just going to curl them up to form a loop. And then the strings here on the left, they're going to hang down the center of that loop And I'm gonna pinch all my strings here and hold them to keep my place. And we're gonna take the group that hangs straight down the center of the circle, and it's gonna go over all the other ends here that were on the right. It's gonna go behind up top. Then they're gonna go over this edge of that loop. So over right here. And then they're gonna go behind the group that we had hang directly down the center of that loop. So they go right behind those. And then over here on the left end of that loop. And you just pull them out. And then we kind of have a little bit of a mess. I mean, you can tell it's a Josephine knot, but we're going to want to adjust it slightly so that it's a little higher up towards our ring. And so you really just have to play around with it, kind of pull on the strings to make it happen. There's no real simple method to this. I mean, just follow along and realize, okay, that needs to go down like that, and then it goes up, and then I see that it comes here. So you just kind of pull and follow along until it's in the position you want. So once you have it a little higher, you just want to go through and pull your strings to smooth it all out. Since we're using so many, I recommend pulling individually on each string. And this is just going to smooth it all out. And then we can go again and just adjust it until we're satisfied with how it looks. So I'm pretty satisfied with how mine looks. I might clean it up just a little more if I was making an actual plant hanger, but that's all we do. And so then you just basically, you can continue with any pattern you want. I would probably take 2 strings, make like a square knot all around, and just continue down. Maybe I would add smaller Josephine knots to play off of that. I have never actually used this knot in a plant hanger to start, but I thought it would be a really fun and cool way, and hopefully it sparks some of your guys' creativity. And if you want to see a full tutorial using this knot to start a plant hanger, let me know. It's a very beautiful knot and it's really fun, and yeah, just let me know in the comments, guys. For our final method, once again, ring and strings folded in half, draped across the ring. And this final method I'm going to show you is one of the most common methods and is probably a favorite among many macrame makers, and that is to use the beautiful gathering knot. Okay, so if you don't know how to make that, you're going to need a second string. It doesn't have to be super long, just long enough that you're able to make it as long as you want. We're going to take that rope and fold it in half so we have a loop. And we're gonna readjust the loop so that one string is longer than the other, and so our loop isn't too big. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold it here so that the shorter end of the string sticks up, and then we take the long string and we just wrap it around all the other strings. And then when we're done wrapping it, we take the end we were using to wrap and we send it through the loop that's down at the bottom. And then we're just going to take the string that's sticking up top and we pull that string tight as you can. And that's all you do. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our scissors and trim the ends off. That is how you make the gathering knot, and some people also call this the wrapping knot. And it is a really beautiful way to start and end your plant hangers because it's just smooth and it gathers everything together to make really nice plant hangers. Alright guys, that is all I have for you today. I hope you found this video helpful and inspiring and that now you have a way that you can start your plant hangers. Well, now I hope you have 5 ways you can start your plant hangers. Thank you so much for watching.